Hi, and welcome everyone to this 12th presentation of soft skills. Um, this is the very last one for this year that Career Service is going to be presenting. And I'm Brenda Brinkerhoff. I'm one of the Career Services advisors here at the college. And I just want to let you know that I am the only one in the room today from Career Services. So if you come in now after class starts, please let me know that you're there, and then I'll write your names down. Everybody's going to try to help remind each other too. There's a lot of information in this one, as always. So if you have a pen and paper, you could start writing some things down, taking note of them, and then as well stay until the end, because there's always the cited resources of where I've gotten everything from. And then you can read them in your own time and review some of the things that I wasn't able to share with you in this presentation. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, I always start with why we do what we do, and our purpose here in Career Services is to give you specialized career-driven advice. We educate you on how to build your own personal brand name, and we provide tools such as networking and communication skills. Our goal, of course, is to be your career coach, basically to help you find employment in your chosen field and receive the highest salary possible. We provide employment opportunities for you to apply for, and Career Services is dedicated to the professional and personal development. So many have asked the question, well, what is professional and personal development? So I went to find the definition on businessdictionary.com, and it says that what it basically refers to is an acquisition of skills and knowledge for career advancement, which it encompasses all types of learning opportunities that range from your college degree to formal and informal coursework. That is learning situated through practice, consultation, coaching, mentoring, and reflective supervision, which is why we offer soft skills resources in Career Services. And basically, at the end of this presentation, it'll all be summed up for you, and you'll really see the whole picture from start to finish why we do what we do. So the question then is, what are the differences between soft skills and hard skills? So of course, I went out there to businessdictionary.com and found another definition. So unlike hard skills, which are about a person's skill set and ability to perform a certain type of task or activity, such as your education, soft skills are personal attributes that are often described by using terms associated with personality traits, the ability to be practical, and to just genuinely like other people. It's often said that hard skills will get you an interview, but you need soft skills to get and keep the job. All right, so oops, I forgot to change that. This is the 11th webinar in the soft skills series. The 12th one, not the 11th one, the 12th one in the soft skills series, which lasts anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour each. This is the last one of this year, and we do this in hopes that these will aid you to improve your career readiness. So today's topics, this is the very last subject of the year. It is on personalizing your job search. And in personalizing your job search, we're going to go over some of these all of these subtopics that are mentioned here, such as finding your fit with a company culture, identifying your strengths, skills that link you to an industry, and career mapping your future. So let's go ahead and get started with finding your fit within a company culture. You'll find this one really interesting because it's all about landing a job and what it involves. And it actually starts with an interview. And it's more than just that, though. Getting an offer and earning a paycheck comes with that. While it's the interviewer's responsibility to assess your skills and experience, it's basically up to you to determine whether or not a particular employer is aligned with what your core values and beliefs are. Say working at a company with values that are inconsistent with yours, it can, create an environment that's stressful, or maybe it's unrewarding, or sometimes it could be even depressing. So no matter how great the position or the salary is, if you're working in a chaotic, understaffed, and unethical culture, you'll probably feel unfulfilled and not be happy staying there. So the job interview is your best opportunity to assess the work environment and organizational norms. But how can you assess the culture while you're being interviewed? That's kind of a good question. Oh, hi, Mary. Thanks for joining. Let me just write your name down. Okay. So, organizational culture is dictated by our values, behaviors, beliefs, and norms that permeate the group. Culture is expressed through the words and behaviors of each employee, company, or department leader. So they set the tone. Recruiters and managers often say that a candidate fits or doesn't fit to explain this. A candidate should be offered this job or not be offered this job based on that fit. But what interviewers are really saying is the candidate fits or doesn't fit into the company culture. So many companies, in an effort to per, per, perpetrate or the culture, they hire people that they feel fit and the candidates that are already working there currently. So you should be sure the culture works from your standpoint as well. And rarely will you find a work environment that totally aligns with your values, but you should be able to find organizations where the culture or your values can coexist. So I just put some funny different pictures up there because you literally could be working with some of these different people. So which of these groups do you feel like you identify with? You've got kind of like the nerdies up here in the corner. You got these guys over here. They love Angry Birds, obviously, and then you got your construction crew. I'm guessing with the caution things on their head there, and so here you are. You're sitting in line waiting for your interview. You're kind of looking around at the other candidates that you're applying with to see, who will they pick? Because obviously, if you've gotten the interview, then you've already proven to them that you're qualified for the job. Now it's time for you to see if you are a good fit or not. Hi, Barbara. I was just going to go ahead and write your name down. I've got you listed here now. Okay, and I'm going to talk about some more in this finding your fit with a company culture. I've got some things to be cognizant of during your interview. So let's go ahead and read some of them. And just ask for details. While you're in an interview, you want to just ask questions. So these are things to be cognizant of during your interview experience. And of course, digging up facts about company culture doesn't have to be an altogether tragic effort. You can simply just ask questions about cultural, like organizational cultures, like, for instance, just to throw out a couple, is what 3 words or phrases would you use to describe just to describe your company? So you can ask them that question, what 3 words or phrases in the interview, because in an interview, it's not just them finding out if you are a good fit. You need to find out if they are as well. So ask them what 3 words or phrases they would describe their company or their department like. And then you can ask them also, how does the company or team handle conflicts or differing opinions? So that way you can get maybe like an idea of how conflicts are handled. And then also maybe another question is, how does the company recognize employee accomplishments? So just kind of think of those things. And as we go through, I encourage you to, take notes as we go through. I don't have all these things up on the board. So here are some things I wanted to just discuss really quick. How are you treated while interviewing? That's a good indication of how you'd be treated on the job. What phrases do the interviewers use frequently? Is there a theme or unspoken tone to the questions asked? And how does the environment feel to you? Does it you're already in their environment. Are you comfortable in the interviewing? And then how prepared are the interviewers? Are they on time? And then were you given an interview schedule? Were you treated like a prisoner or a guest? A couple more here. Are your responses to questions treated with suspicion or professional courtesy? That's a big indicator of whether or not there's trust issues. And then lastly, how considerate is the company recruiter? It looks like we have one other person that just entered into the class. Oh, Melissa. I'm going to write your name down. I don't have an assistant from Career Services here tonight, so I'm just doing attendance myself. Okay. I think I've got all you guys written down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's go on to the next subtopic. And of course, if you have anything you want to offer, I always welcome any input if you guys have examples that you want to share. The next subtopic is on identifying your strengths, and this one's always fun. So by focusing on our strengths, we can further develop and improve certain abilities and skills rather than spending a lot of effort on reinventing yourself. You can optimize your job search by improving your strengths. So why focus on strengths? Because far too many candidates attempt to improve their weaknesses, also known as areas for improvement. Each and every one of us has a unique set of strengths, which is what makes us stand out from other candidates. By focusing on our strengths, we can further develop and improve certain abilities and skills. So, how not to describe your strengths? Most candidates that I've interviewed would tell me that they are good communicators. And it's interesting that when I've asked them, why are you a good communicator, they often find it difficult to provide a clear example of their specific strengths. So I put together three things to do to discover your own strengths. So this is going to be a self type of evaluation, which is always good when you're in a job search. You have to kind of explore, things like, what are your strengths? Well, here's three. So think about what you're good at and what you enjoy doing, and make a long list of potential strengths. So asking the question, what am I good at? And it can be inside and outside of work, and it could be in school. The next step is to narrow these down to between 3 and 5. It is important to be as specific as possible, so don't generalize your answers. And then third, validate your strengths by using clear examples of how you have developed each strength. So, like I was saying, make real examples, and then just really believe in yourself. Again, you'll want to ask for feedback. So other people in our lives, such as friends, colleagues, and family, they often see us in situations where our strengths will stand out. So if you kind of think about that, think about who's in your life that knows you, that can testify to your strengths. So when you ask for feedback, you can use like a blank sheet approach and ask them to indicate from their perception of your strengths as well as the reasons behind that. This is useful, especially when they know how well you do. For others, you may list or identify your strengths and rate them from like highest to lowest. So you could actually write those down and ask them to rate your strengths highest to lowest. Again, it's useful to ask them for their reasons so that again you have those examples to fall back on. Feedback is important, but keep in mind that their feedback is situational and that ultimately you're the best person to assess your own strengths. And then you can even leverage your strengths. It's not enough just to identify them. You also need to maximize them rather than spending like a lot of effort on reinventing yourself, like I was saying, you want to optimize your job search by improving those strengths. It's important that you can clearly demonstrate to your potential employer how your strengths have contributed to your ultimate achievements in life. So you'll reflect those strengths onto actual examples and how that has created abundance for you. And this is going to take some creative juices. And we use that term a lot in career services because those are things we can't just pick out of your head for you. You'll have to do for yourself. I wish we could like write whole resumes for you, but we can give you suggestions and then just kind of grow from there. Anybody have any questions on that or comments so far? Everybody know what their strengths are? No? Oh, Keith, hey, thanks for writing everybody down for me. That does help. Thank you. All right. Oh, Keith, do you have an example? No questions, Mary? Awesome. Go ahead and type in there. I'd be happy to share them with the class. I'm going to go on to the next subtopic, and that's skills. Skills that link you to the industry. Okay, that's a big mouthful, I understand. And we're going to include in this transferable skills because we're going to be looking at where you're from and where you're going to get to and determine what industries those skills link to the best. So it does also incorporate transferable skills. And I've got a story to tell you. Okay, so this is a story about a gal named Gina. She had recently been laid off of work as a marketing manager in a high-tech company for the past 5 years. She was distracted as she walked through the aisles of the supermarket. She was thinking about ways that she's going to be able to market herself. You know, she's got all these things on her mind. She's got to get a new job. So she stood in front of the cereal selection. And who hasn't been in front of the cereal selection and been completely overwhelmed by all the brand names to choose from? There's literally like hundreds of varieties, okay? So suddenly it kind of dawns on her. She's like, this must be what it's like for hiring managers to look at all those resumes and all those people that are applying and answering the ads for the positions that they're hiring for. How do they choose? How could they possibly choose the best person? What do they look for? How does anyone make a selection, really? I mean, seriously. How do you make your product stand out? How do you define yourself? So she looked at the packaging on the cereal boxes, and got her thinking. Their eye-catching colors, their descriptive words, the different things that draw attention, like the low fat or the energy boosting or the added vitamins, all the things that our consumers are looking for. But what are employers looking for? See, the words that you choose will be key. That's why we call them keywords in your resume. Using words that will interest the companies and grab their attention. And then she also paid notice to the ingredients and the list of ingredients. What is being offered? It's also important. So Gina couldn't wait to get home and start writing down her skills and what made her unique to the positions that she's applying for. Now she has a new slant to explore in this job search. And I just wanted to go over 3 skills that can be grouped this way into these categories and just kind of get your mind thinking about them. For one, skills learned through past experience and education. These are your knowledge-based skills. And of course, on every resume, you have your education. And then also skills you bring with you to any job because of a job. Transferable or portable skills, things that you've done before and that you can do again in different industries. And I'm going to give you my own experience in just a little bit. And then third, personal traits, the things that make you who you are. Maybe you volunteer, which we had talked about in the last soft skills. The recording wasn't working, or I mean the live class wasn't working for everyone, but I got the recording out there. So if you weren't able to watch it, it's on self-improvement, and it's all about your personal traits. So please, if you haven't had a chance to, go out there and watch last mod's soft skills. But just to follow up with Gina's example, she divided up a piece of paper into 3 columns and labeled them with previous experience, portable skills, and personality. They're the 3 P's of marketing. Okay, that's a really easy way to think about marketing so it doesn't become overwhelming. Previous experience, portable skills, and personality. Okay, she was surprised at how easy the list had come together for her. So dividing up the skills, the task became manageable. Trying to look at everything all at once is like looking at those cereal boxes. So getting words on paper is one of the most difficult sometimes to do. All right, and that's where I was saying it's your creative juices. It's not anything we'd be able to do that for you here in career services. But getting those out on paper, putting those ingredients, your ingredients list together in an inventory. This is a good exercise for anyone beginning the search process, or as a periodical check-in or inventory list. So Gina can now use the list to put together her resume. Write a summary statement or compose a personal statement. The skills will be the foundation of the strategy she will use to sell herself. And she still has some work to do before she can take her product to market, but she certainly now has a good start. So if you haven't really started anywhere yet, try this. Try looking at your transferable skills. And it was definitely how I had gotten into the education industry. I actually, personally, my experience is that I was working in the health insurance industry, and I worked there for 6 years prior to coming here to the college. And what I did there is I was a medical underwriter, so I would look over like medical records, and I would determine what their premiums would be based on the risk that we tried to predict risk and determine like how much they were going to be using in benefits, so that we kind of broke even somewhere. And doing all that, it was because I came from an accounting background. I actually went to Stevens Henniger College in Provo, and I studied accounting. So that's how I started. And so doing all the numbers crunching over there at the medical insurance was a really good experience, because I got to work with a bunch of government forms. I got to sell an intangible product, intangible meaning you can't touch it and feel it because it's insurance. And I got to work with a lot of external agents and internal customers or members. And so with that being said, when I came to Stevens Henniger College, it was back then, now it's Independence, but when I came here, I started as a financial aid planner, and I did that for over 2 years. And financial aid, maybe some of you, I might have helped, get their federal loans, I don't know. But that's how I started here in the college, is with financial aid. But when I was looking, oh, I'm going to have to get back into insurance. That's all I know. That's all I know. That's all I thought too. Until somebody turned me on to this whole transferable skills thing. And then I started looking, and I'm like, oh, financial aid has a lot of government forms. They are selling an intangible product, which is education. You can't touch it and feel it. It's just developing your mind. A lot better than insurance, I tell you, a lot more rewarding. This is the best industry I've ever worked in. And then also you get to work with teachers, or the instructors, the students, all, which, are very similar to like customers or members. You are my customers. So, all of those were similar. So I could transfer those skills over and move from insurance to education quite easily. How I got into career service is a whole nother story, but I thought I'd at least just share that about recognizing your transferable skills. And that's a really great exercise to go through. Next, I have a fun video. So I want you to turn up your headsets, and if you're watching this on a computer, it should be just fine. If you're watching this on your iPad or let's see, whatever, iPhone, any kind of smartphone or gadget, sometimes it doesn't work. I think this video is like 5 or 6 minutes long. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my mic off and watch this video with you.
The average job seeker changes careers 3 to 5 times in his or her working life. Not jobs, careers. That means that one day, maybe tomorrow, you will choose to do work that is completely different than what you've done in the past. But will it really be that different? In all actuality,
Yeah, it's rebuffering. It's working.
you will probably end up using many of the skills you've already learned. The ability to write well, stay organized, or make basic repairs. These are skills that are used in a wide variety of jobs. Such skills that can be transferred easily from one job to the next are called, you guessed it, transferable skills. Knowing your best transferable skills can help you to sell yourself to employers. It can also give you the confidence you need to make a career change. Realizing that there are hundreds of employers out there that could use your transferable skills makes it easier to find the one you really want.
I was a painter for 6 years when I decided I wanted to work more with people, so I took courses in real estate. But the problem was, most of my skills were pretty specific. I could make repairs, I knew how to use various tools and supplies, and I suppose I had a good eye for detail. But the more I got to thinking about it, the more I realized that I had other skills that would transfer pretty easily. I was good at staying organized and managing projects. I accepted responsibility for my work, and I was an excellent problem solver. Plus, attention to detail came in real handy when it came to helping people pick out a house. So while I had to learn quite a few new job-specific skills, it turned out I already knew a lot of what I needed to be successful.
So what are transferable skills? Basically, transferable skills are portable skills. So let's say that, for instance, if somebody is really good at programming and they've been doing it in the automotive industry and maybe that industry is kind of in the tank right now, then you start looking at where can I portably move those skills. So it could be that you could be a programmer in the healthcare industry, or you could be a programmer for a green economy type position, which is on the rise, or a programmer for the plastics industry, something that you might have an interest in as well. I can think of an example where somebody was a programmer and his industry was in decline, and he always loved motorcycles. And so he took his programming skill to an industry that he was able to be closer to motorcycles in. Another example, I had a manicure done not too long ago, and I was talking to the gal who was doing the manicure, and I said, "You're doing a beautiful job. How did you get into this?" And she said, I'd gotten laid off, thought my life was over. She'd been doing assembly work in a telecommunications plant, so really fine detail work. And so when she got RIFT, reduction in force, she started looking around at what she could do with her hands, and that was really detailed. And the manicurist came up, and she loved it even more because she was able to also work with people, which is something she wasn't able to do in the last position.
The thing about transferable skills is that they can come from just about anywhere. You learn them on the job, of course, but you also learn them through hobbies and other leisure activities, in your volunteer experience, in classes, at workshops, you name it. Just think about the times you use math throughout the day. You calculate a tip. You balance your checkbook. Then you go to work and evaluate a budget. You don't think about it, but you use many of your transferable skills every day in and out of work.
So what are some core skills that fit your talents and also match the demands of the position? Ways to identify skills that could be transferable or that you would want to develop successfully. Look at a variety of job descriptions in the arenas that appeal to you. What are the common threads that come up again and again? It might be writing. It might be presentations. It could be programming software. Whatever comes up again and again, those could be the core set of transferable skills that you want to develop over time, and make sure that you keep them current. Also thinking about how can they be shifted into a new opportunity.
If you're still not sure about the value of transferable skills, think about all the skills a stay-at-home parent uses that could be transferred to a job. Getting kids to school, practice, and parties on time, controlling household expenses, helping kids with their homework, convincing a teenager to finish a school paper before going to the movies, helping children grow up to be well-rounded, productive adults. During any given day, you probably use dozens of transferable skills. Here are some other transferable skills for you to consider. Feel free to pause the video and write down any of these skills. This list will come in handy throughout your job search. Your transferable skills, combined with your adaptive skills, show your ability to succeed across a wide variety of jobs. They prove that you are a good worker with many talents. However, even these two together are often not enough. Each job still has its own specific requirements and specific skills required to meet them.
All right, that was a great video. I don't know why the mouths and the video, the sound didn't kind of match up, but there's the link I sent to y'all. And it is also in the last part of this presentation under references so that you can go straight out to the website and maybe get connected with some of these other great speakers and presentations. That one that's on the right bottom corner, examples from work or student days. I really like that one too, but it didn't have any talking in it. I was going to show you that one, but anyway, a lot of students have come back to me and said, "Hey, thanks for sharing that video. Once I got in it, I subscribed, and now I get these, great videos and things that come to me from these sources." So transferable skills is just a really good tool to add in your toolbox for your job search. So the last subtopic is career mapping your future. And I don't know if you realize or not, but out on Shark, under Career Services, we actually have career maps for every program. So if you want to take a look at that, it gives you a good idea of where students will be starting and going throughout their education and into, transitioning from college to career, or in the process of that while you're in school still doing internships and things like that. But it shows you kind of the level and degree and what to expect, because setting yourself up for the right expectation in your job search is also a very important thing to consider, and I'm going to talk about that in career mapping in just a second. So just to kind of go over career mapping, I'm going to talk about this. For many seniors in college, that is, the time leading up to college graduation and the start of a first job, it can be chaotic and stressful, right? I mean, you guys got to agree on that. You're trying to complete your college career without too much of a meltdown while dealing with the demands of job hunting, interviewing, and facing the reality of the end of school or in your foreseeable future. So in all our discussions, when I've spoken with seniors that are in their last year and recent graduates, 8 different issues always seem to arise time and time again as the key to making a successful transition from life as a student to life as a productive employee. And understanding these issues and being prepared for them before they occur should help you make a smoother transition. And that's really what Career Services is all about, is helping you with that transition. So are you ready for a reality check? Because here are the 8 critical issues facing you in the near future. 8 critical issues, all right? Number 1 is the time-related factors. The final time factor is time management. You may have thought it was tough managing various projects or tests or other activities while you're in college, but it'll be even more of a struggle to manage your time once you're at work. And your future with your employer depends on how well you can manage your time. We've talked about time management before in soft skills. It's very critical, not only for your degree, but for your employment even more so. So on the other hand, some of you may have been working really hard in college and in the real world, where homework is not necessarily required in the real world. It can maybe feel like a relief when you're out of school, because then you only have to focus on work. So your college experience may even have helped you learn how to time manage because you've had to work and attend school at the same time. So you'll find this part of the transition to be simple if you fall into that category. Professionalism in the workplace, and this is also another soft skill that we had talked about. Like I said, this is going to come full circle to some of the things that we started out talking about at the first part of the year. So everyone knows that a certain amount of college has kind of a rite to passage. You've probably heard it said before. In college, acting unprofessional may result in a bad grade as all. But in the workplace, acting unprofessionally can get you fired, where getting the wrong answer means more than just a poor grade. So professionalism also deals with dependability and being a self-starter. There are some things that you just have to figure out or experience on your own, where your instructors and tutors are not there to help you. That's called personal accountability. To succeed, you must be seen as a member of a team that can be relied on to do your job. Deadlines are critical, much more so than in college, whereas you might have been able to schmooze your professor into giving you an extension. You'll find in most like businesses, especially if they're fast-paced, missing the deadline is absolutely unacceptable. All right, so number 3 is this a job or a true calling? So that's kind of a good question. Well, it helps to have a solid vision of what you want in your career path or where you want to be after graduation. Don't panic if your first job after graduation doesn't fit your plans perfectly. Many recent college graduates, they change jobs after their first year out. And sometimes it takes that long just to fully understand who you are and what you really want to do with your life. For others, this understanding might not come until even later in life. So don't fret if that first job is not the perfect fit for you. But do start planning so that you can make the transition to something that's better down the road, and keep track of your accomplishments and develop an awareness of the transferable skills you're developing in your early jobs so that you can apply them to better jobs down the road. So for me, I really relate to that because of my accounting degree, and it got me into, actually I ran restaurants in the food industry for about 4.5, 5 years, and then I got into being a medical underwriter. It's kind of funny, your career path, and it changes all the time. So number 4 is college has not prepared you for everything. All right, so big sign here. College is not everything you need, but, well, you need it. I'm not telling you not to, because obviously we want you to finish school, because without a degree, you have, there's no competition. You're out of the competition. You're not gonna be able to make very much. It's just plain and simple. But college hasn't prepared you for everything. Believe us when we say that one of the most overwhelming issues we hear from recent grads is that college didn't prepare them for many of the challenges they faced as they made the transition from college to career. Many recent graduates say that they were totally unprepared for things like the emphasis placed on the teamwork skills. Hello, soft skills. We spoke about teamwork and leadership not that long ago. Again, the importance of dealing with all types of people and personalities. Again, that's in soft skills. That's part of dealing with difficult people, overcoming conflicts, problem solving, and then maybe something like balancing work demands with family and friends and personal life. And we've talked about time management and stress management, all of that in the soft skills series as well. Job hunting skills, especially networking, interviewing, and salary negotiation. That is all in the soft skills. And as well, some of these, the job hunting skills, networking, all the interviewing, and salary negotiation, those are in the professional development series, which there's 24, and they're small webinars that are 3 to 7 minutes long. So I have those in every single soft skills. At least through the latter part of this year, I've mentioned the professional development series, and I put the link at the end with the references. So look for them, because that's where you'll find out how to navigate that area. So if you relate to any of these, please go back and watch all the soft skills recordings from this year in the professional development series, and also connect with your career advisor to help you develop these skills as well. And number 5 is that finding employment probably won't be easy. Perhaps it's because most of today's college students grew to adulthood in a period of unsurpassed prosperity and growth during a certain time in their life. But it seems to be a harsh reality to many college seniors and recent graduates that obtaining a job offer is very time consuming, and it's just a lot of work. And it's even harder to obtain the ideal scenario of having multiple job offers. As most experienced job seekers already know, if you've had jobs before, you already know you have to spend time every day looking for employment. It's a full-time job to find a job. Use all the available resources, tracking down all the job leads, following up on all the leads and interviews, networking on LinkedIn and all those different places. Generally speaking, the more quality work you put into your job search, the better your results are going to be. So don't give up. And then don't be full of yourself. Oh man, do I see this more so now than ever before? Can we all hear me on this one? Give me an amen. All right, so having a college degree does not entitle you to a job. I'm sorry. It's best to prepare yourself now that most employers will not be impressed with your grades or your education as you are with them. Focus less on why employers should be so impressed with your credentials that they should be hunting you down, and more on how you can use your talents and initiative to make a contribution to the employer's bottom line. Be sure to tell the employer how you will make a strong contribution. Because I have to say, employers are interested in just a couple of things. They want to know how you're going to save them time and money. I didn't get any responses. You guys out there, are we hearing me? Okay. Just making sure you're not sleeping. I'm telling you some things you may not want to hear right now, but it's all good. It's all good. We're here to help. Okay, we really are. Okay. Okay, so the next one, the 7th one, is college grads get entry-level jobs. One of the harsh realities is that many new grads face, especially in the bad job market, is that a large number of jobs available for college graduates are in fact entry-level. These jobs often require long hours, low pay, and hard work. Some recent grads have turned up their noses at jobs because of the sense that the jobs were below them. Perhaps the job required helping them stock shelves or traveling too much. This advice is not meant to imply that you should take the first job offer you get either. I don't want to imply that, or any job offer you get. I want you to just be realistic about your expectations is all. Most employers want to see all employees start at a certain level to better understand the business. With the college grads on a career track towards faster advancement, do your research about employers before jumping to conclusions about the value of certain types of jobs. But do be ambitious about moving beyond the entry level, but not at the expense of your current job. Yeah, and entry level is a good place to start. I have dealt with students because I'm dealing with them all the time as far as like graduates looking for jobs, and I try to push them throughout their education to get into internships, even unpaid ones if that's what is necessary. But if they haven't even done that and they haven't really worked at all, which we have a lot of students that are young and haven't worked at all, and then they graduate and they think they're going to get offers that are in the 60s, 70s, 80s thousand dollar range, like upper management. It's like, no, you have to start at the bottom with that. But the thing is there's so much competition that by having a degree, you're at least going to get an entry level, as opposed to not having it, you might not even get that. So that's kind of the market that we're in right now. Just be prepared. And then the eighth one, the last one, is be prepared for salary negotiations and job offers. If you're one of the lucky college grads, you'll get more than one job offer after graduation. Having more than one offer gives you the luxury of deciding if one or any of them is right for you. You should be prepared not only to negotiate the salary and the entire compensation packet, but also have a clear sense of what you want before the issues arise. Strive to get the best job offers from the employer, but remember to temper everything you do with a realistic vision of what you really expect. In the job hunt and in getting job offers, take to heart the advice from all the recent college graduates that have come before you and been in your shoes, and you'll be better prepared and more satisfied with your job search. So yeah, that's another thing, is if you are in class with other students that are maybe almost graduated, talk with them, talk with your peers. That's how you're going to learn a lot. Ask your career services advisor to help you negotiate salary and when the right time is to bring that up with employers. So that is all we had for today. We learned about personalizing your job search, finding your fit within a company culture, identifying your strengths, skills that link you to an industry, and career mapping your future. Everything that's going to help support you in personalizing your own job search. So you probably thought this was going to be on networking or something, but no, we have plenty on networking. In fact, I have YouTube videos just on that alone, if you're ever interested. All right, well, that completes today's, and also it completes the presentations for the year. Now, I've gotten everybody's names written down. Andrea McCarter, Keith Cummins, Scott Dawson, Andrea Ortiz, Emily Alber, Mary Godsill, Melissa Snyder, and Barbara Milliam. And I will get you guys all certificates. But if you're watching this recording, I need to know which topic, what date you watched, and what you learned. I like to see a little bit about what you learned. And also, I just want to tell everybody out there live and in the recording world that being that we're at the end of the year, I want your feedback. I may send out a survey, but if you can just email me, online.careerservices@Stevens Center. Give me your suggestion on what days is better for soft skills, what times are better for soft skills, what subjects maybe. We probably won't change the subjects too much, but we have to stay in line with our accreditation rules and things. But give me your feedback. Tell me what you think, and I may or may not send out a survey. We'll see if time allows. But I am interested in what you guys all think. And these are the references, like I was saying, with all the different websites, so you can actually get more out of all that we already spoke about today. Here's the professional development series. Like I said, there's 24 videos. It starts with mine on networking. And then here are the Shark under the webinars. There's 11 out there right now for this year, and then there's archived ones from the years prior. Thank you guys for viewing each and every soft skills webinar. I appreciate your coming today, appreciate your taking the time, and we will see you guys all next year. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thanks for coming. Thank you. You're welcome. You are welcome. You guys are awesome.